The best way to describe Chameleon's impact on puzzling is as an innovator. He's been involved in the creation of many, many cool things. I think especially Fog of War. When I first saw that first Fog of War puzzle he made, I was blown away, and I knew right then that he had stumbled onto something magical.
Chameleon is one of the most constructive testers I've had the pleasure of getting feedback from. His puzzles are creative, and his website is even more so. All in all, he's dedicated to helping realize fun ideas in an incredibly high quality, productive way.
Chameleon is an incredibly inventive setter, often using technology to create very refreshing twists to Sudoku. Some of his puzzles could be described as Sudoku for people who hate Sudoku, and I think that's great.
He's just one of the greatest setters and inventors of our times. He's so innovative and can program things I could never imagine. So he's really pushing the boundaries of puzzling. It's just amazing.
For his impact on this community, he's done so much. The Fog of War puzzles, the Rush Hour Sudokus. He's opened people's minds, these setters' minds, into new ways to challenge a solver. I'm really excited to see what Chameleon has in store in the future.
Uh-oh. Okay, there we go. Hello, and welcome everyone. Welcome, Chameleon. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, thank you.
Awesome. Okay, before we get into it, I just want to mention that we still have our 1,000 subs goal. We'll have 3 bonus re-interviews and some more refined re-releases like the Fismafel refined re-release that we had earlier. We still have these weekly setter spotlight shorts, or I guess tri-weekly or quad weekly. They're coming out like crazy, so check those out if you haven't seen them yet. They're all very interesting or hilarious, depending upon the content. And thank you to all of our Patreon supporters who made all of these interviews possible. And especially thank you to Chameleon over here, who is over there as well. Thank you for supporting the channel, Chameleon. I can say that
Welcome.
Face to face now. And let's get into the warm-up questions. So let's warm up with what do you do for work, Chameleon?
I am a software developer. Surprise, surprise. So I'm the luckiest man on earth. I basically do my hobby for a living. Yeah.
Nice. So what
I
other
develop,
hobbies?
yeah. Web services, something like YouTube.
Oh, nice. Is there any exciting projects that you're working on right now that you want to tell us about, or mostly Puzzle TV is the exciting one?
I wouldn't call it exciting. It's basically something that we're working for more than 10 years on. Just actually, yeah, it's kind of exciting. We're starting to introduce AI capabilities to the video processing. So yeah,
Nice.
fun thing.
That's awesome. Do you have any hobbies or interests outside of puzzling and software development?
Yeah, actually, I like to play table tennis. I like to play chess. Just randomly talking with my family. It usually takes around 2 hours over Skype because we live in different countries. What else? I would say that I like listening to the music a lot, but it's not really as a hobby for me. It's more like breathing.
What kind of music do you like listening to?
I listen to everything, but day to day in the background, it mostly rock, metal.
Nice.
Something that I can scream along to.
And I'm sure everyone is curious if you're following competitive table tennis and competitive chess. Like, is that something that interests you as well? I mean, the Olympics are right now, so table tennis is front and center, I guess.
No, I just randomly watch reviews from time to time, like not because I want to. It's just something that YouTube recommends to me, and yeah, let's do it.
Right.
And I definitely not following the scandals in the chess world.
Yeah,
I don't care about it.
I stuck it into those a little bit dicey
Yeah.
conversations.
So,
Are you more of an inside person or an outside person?
I guess inside person. Yeah. Shy.
Do you have any unusual skills or talents?
Unusual.
Yeah.
Is playing saxophone unusual? I don't know.
What qualifies as unusual?
It's
Yes.
not like I doing it good. I just can do it.
Sorry, what was it? I missed it. I missed it.
Playing saxophone.
Oh, playing saxophone. That's a good trick. Well, not trick. Skill, I guess. Skill trick. It's a weird word for that.
Yeah.
Let's go to
I
some.
definitely cannot do the card magic tricks like feedback and missing. That's not me.
Gotcha. Oh, I guess related to that, if you could master any skill instantly, what would you choose?
Ooh, that's a good question. I guess I will become practical with that. If I can just fall asleep without any troubles and a desired time, that would be super skill of my dream. Like
Are you,
not fall asleep at 6 a.m. when I need to wake up for the job.
right,
Not
right.
not that. Yeah,
So
that
you're sort of a night owl kind of sleeper.
yeah. I'm a random sleeper.
Hmm. Right. What's your favorite type of weather?
Ooh, I actually miss snow a lot. But if I will come back to it, it will not become my favorite type of weather, probably. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I definitely know.
I guess the answer is the one that I don't have here.
Right. Yeah. You don't miss it until it's gone, right?
Right? Right.
Is there anything that you're very passionate or like to argue about that really doesn't matter at all? Is just something completely irrelevant, but you're very passionate about?
I don't know if it's relevant. I probably the most passionate arguing about things like equality and how people treat this term. Like there
I wouldn't
are
call that
some
relevant.
people in human resources at certain
Yeah.
jobs that like say we hired 50%
Oh, yeah.
women, 50% men. We're so good.
Mm.
And if the way to achieve it was to decline someone just based on their gender,
Yeah.
yeah, sorry you failed.
uh, if you had to live without one of your five senses, which one would you give up and why?
Let's actually almost gave up my seeing ability, but let's skip it. Let's skip it. I need to think about it for a while.
Okay. And then this is becoming one of my favorite questions to ask. If you were interviewed on a different topic, what topic would you choose?
Like one I'm expert at, or one I love to talk about because it's totally different things, I think.
Either way, really.
Because I like talking about the most random things. Like, for instance, when I talk with my family over at Skype, we're we're not talking about politics. We're not talking about the current situation. We're um, just I don't know, talking about which musical notes could make a word if they are combined, like things like that. Um, so my
Yeah,
random topic is random. Sorry, my favorite random. I mean, yeah.
I see.
And
Yeah,
if what I'm expert at, I guess something related to the software development, I guess.
right. Yeah, that's probably a good
But I
idea.
don't know about it. No.
Okay, well, why don't we start with the Sudoku talk, and you can start to discuss what your favorite or your first ever puzzle that you set was, and I'm gonna go rescue my cat who seems to be screaming, and we'll bring him onto the
Oh,
stream for a second.
hope the cat is okay. Yeah. So the first puzzle that I set, it was long, long time ago. I like to solve nonograms, like the ones that you get in free journals. And when I think already when I was in the skies in the high school, I started to build ones myself and give it to my mother to solve. So one of them was my first puzzle, and it's I still have no idea how to set one. It's like it's not really about logical deductions. It's more about the picture. Like if
Hmm.
the nonogram doesn't make a picture, it's nothing. So the only way to set it that I know is you draw something, you write the clues, you solve it, you hope that it's unique and hopefully humanable. I don't know. If someone knows other way, you'll be my hero.
I think
Yeah,
that's
but
generally how people set Japanese sums, or at least how the main Japanese sum Sudoku people set Japanese sums. So I guess that makes sense. But otherwise, maybe I've honestly been thinking about
actually, it's
adding.
not the case for the Japanese sums at all.
Oh,
Japanese
really?
sums are super easy to set
Oh,
because they have not only shading but only also the digits. So you can
yeah,
like
yeah.
decide the shading
Right.
ahead of time, and then put some interesting deductions with digits. Um, I think I was in a voice call when Mixo was setting Japanese sums hybrid with some other shading genre, I think. Or maybe pure GSS. I don't really remember, but it was a very cool lesson how to do it. Basically, like you don't need to decide on which clue exactly you put. You could write only the amount that brings you the deduction you need. So you know that need certain clue to be, let's say, greater than 8
Mhm.
to force the intended deduction. You don't write the specific number. You just write greater than 8, and later you can decide which exactly you can do. I try to do some pure JSS. It's very fun to do. Yeah.
Yeah.
And as for let's say, my first puzzle that I have record of doing that I published
Mhm.
somewhere. I think it was a puzzle for the monthly prompt from the CTC server. Of course, I was a garbage setter, so I just the prompt was do something about music.
Mhm.
So I just drew things with constraints and call it a puzzle. It was 1 or 2 star puzzle. It was total garbage. Yeah.
Were you still proud of it though when you made it?
Uh, I wouldn't say so, no.
No.
But I did publish it in the channel. Like, well, first Sudoku puzzle. Hey.
Hey. So when did you first start? I'm gonna ask this question differently than I've asked it before. I used to ask when did you first watch CTC, but when did you first encounter the Sudoku variant community? I'll ask it that way instead, so that we're very neutral in terms of channel.
Yeah, it was very politically correct question, but the answer is the same as many people that were here. I just saw some YouTube algorithm recommended a CTC video to me. Actually, don't think that it was the Miracle Sudoku. It was something else.
Hmm.
But yeah, still the same. And then I involved in I joined the Discord community, like the CTC fan server, and yeah, started to look what happens there, and doing using the monthly puzzle prompt as the main source of inspiration.
How long did it take to go from viewer to inspired monthly prompt setter?
I actually have no idea. Yeah, I didn't track that. Actually, don't even remember when I joined the server or when I discovered the channel. I'm generally very bad with dates and times. Yeah.
Right, okay. Oh my word. Clarky is mad. Sorry. I don't know if you guys heard that, but very, very upset.
Yeah. At least I did for sure.
Yeah, the reason why he's upset.
He's jealous that you're with another cat. I'm lying according to the horoscope.
What? Sorry?
Wait, how do you call it in English? I like a sign of zodiac. I'm lying.
Oh,
So maybe the cat just jealous that you're talking with
oh,
another cat. That's
maybe
my wild guess.
another like zodiac animal, like the chameleon is a zodiac. Is that
Yeah, I guess so. Like,
right? Okay.
I have a small dog. He's actually the size of a cat. His
Mhm.
the name is Bim, and he's so jealous when like if I'm just like hugging someone in a flat, he's he's starting to bark like it's the end of the world.
Yeah, yeah. I met some dogs that had anxiety who, even if you had just met them and you touched another person in any way, you hugged them at all, they'd be really upset. They'd be jealous because you had met them, so you're their best friend now. So you can't interact with anyone else.
Yeah, exactly.
But since we mentioned the ultimate question, we should ask the ultimate question. Ken Glue asked, why the name Chameleon?
Oh, yeah.
What is it?
So I named myself after after the song. This one, like come on, come on, come on, come on, come on,
Okay, yeah.
chameleon. You come
Nice.
and go, you come and go. No, I didn't. I'm just kidding.
Okay.
I actually named myself after a song. This one. See chameleon lying in the sun. All things to everyone, run, run away. It's because when I was introduced to the Sudoku community, I basically started to do some crazy puzzle, and someone in a chat said like, "See, see Yura's puzzle, run away." So the sun just popped up in my mind, and that's why I'm chameleon. No, I'm just kidding. It's not after a sun. The actual reason is very boring. Uh, I just like I didn't have any nickname, and it was in a high school. I think I was picking a nickname for some social network, I
Hmm.
guess, and I thought something like, when I see people with some mood, I'm starting to take this mood, so I like act as chameleon. That's what was in my mind,
Is Smoot,
and
is that like,
I named myself like that, and I'm still going with this name. It's basically meaningless. And there is a song called Chameleon. It's not in English. It's about a person that how to explain it? It's about a person that doesn't care about anyone else, but they are saying that they care about uh, the. I'm starting to miss the words about environment, but basically they are care about having Wi-Fi in their room. And I used to listen to the song, and but I don't associate myself with this character at all. I never did, but it kinda helped me to pick the nickname.
or
Sorry,
is
it's
this a
boring.
triple ruse and it's actually not related to that at all?
Yeah.
Okay. Uh, and then Rom Planer asked in response to the chameleon name, where did the CIO go? And I, for a long time, was reading this and thinking, what on earth is he talking about? But then I remembered that you used to have the letters CIO next to your Discord handle, I think.
Yeah, that's right. I used to change my nickname to Chameleon the CIO, and it's alluding Chief Innovation Officer. I didn't mean that I deserve this title for a moment. It was just a joke. But for a little while it's not serious, I also didn't know some like specific person that should take this title instead of me. But then I was introduced to the puzzles of. I try to pronounce it correctly. I think it's Michael Lefkowitz, maybe Lefkowitz. I'm not sure.
I think the second
Also
one,
known
but
as
I also don't know.
Juggler.
Yeah, Chuckling.
Yes. So Juggler's puzzle are super fun, super innovative. Like, so to the Run Planner's question, where did the CIO go? To Juggler. Yeah.
Gotcha. Logan asked in the chat just now if you were bitten by a radioactive chameleon that gave you chameleon related superpowers.
Yes, I did. Yeah.
Okay. I figured, I just thought we should
It was
ask.
a while ago.
Yeah.
But I I prefer not to bring these memories, so it's painful.
Okay, gotcha. And Wessel or it's Stark asked, are you an actual chameleon? And if so, how does it feel to change colors?
Well, you already know that I'm an actual chameleon because radioactive chameleon
Right.
bite me. So I actually used this power only yesterday. I was in the beach yesterday's morning, and I was in the sun for too long, so I changed my color to red, and it's quite painful. Yeah.
Ah, gotcha. Yeah, I think I might be a chameleon too in that case.
High five.
Just making sure we don't have any other chameleon related questions. I don't think so. And I did just realize that Logan asked the exact same question, and I didn't even realize that it was the same question. So let's move back to CTC. When did you get your first CTC feature, and how did it feel to do that?
So I don't remember the date, but my first CTC feature was the puzzle that I submitted to them myself. I was a big fan of VTMS live streams, and they hosted how did I call it? Like it's not competition, but basically they set a theme, and the theme was create a coloring puzzle with a coloring that we didn't see before, something like that.
Mhm.
And I created a puzzle for VTMS, VTMath, and submitted to this contest. And it looked like they liked it, and so I decided, well, maybe I sent it to CTC as well. Maybe they like it as well. It was a puzzle with big modular lines, but actually not modular. It was lines with lowest common multiple
Mhm.
that should remain one digit. So there were like interesting coloring of different shades of digits. Like one set was 1, 2, 3, 6. That makes a common multiple of 6, and another 1, 2, 4, 8. And in the end, okay, enough spoilers. Yeah, so I submitted it myself, and I don't know, like it was a Mark Fisher, and Mark is generally a bit less into the enthusiastic than Simon, but I had an impression that they didn't really like the puzzle. At some moment, I think they even said something like, "Thank you for submitting the puzzle," alluding that we did it only because you submitted it and it's your first puzzle. I, I don't know. Maybe I imagine it, but I had this impression. So this moment I decided that I will try not to submit puzzles to them, like my puzzles to them, and one day maybe someone recommends my puzzle, and that's how I know that it's really worth it.
Mhm. Yeah, I think sometimes, and no offense to Mark, but I think he should have a cup of coffee before he starts some of the puzzles. Sometimes he lacks his sunny disposition at times. extra coffee could help.
Well, I guess this puzzle is really not so special. Yeah, it's fun coloring, but nothing too crazy.
Yeah. So I guess we should talk about the other CTC feature that would kind of, I would say, kind of blew up. I mean, I feel like I watched the CTC feature and I was at the point where I wasn't really watching CTC as much, so it must have blown up. The Fog of War puzzle.
Yeah. So first of all, that's not my idea. It's Rocky Roar's idea. I saw a discussion in a CTC setting channel, and I decided to pick it up. And it really sounded like fun, like to not to know
Mhm.
where certain clue goes and decide it for yourself. Yeah, I'm. It also was a puzzle that I messed up a lot during setting. Like it was a puzzle. I sent it to the testing channel around 4 times, and not because of something like wacky deduction. It was broken, just broken. I sent a puzzle that is broken 3 times to the channel. I never did it before. Never did it again. But I guess I have an excuse that I was a pioneer of the genre, and it's really really easy to mess something up, not to think about some strange movement
Mhm.
of the arrow or whatever. Yeah, so in the end, I was so tired of breaking the puzzle, and I didn't make it perfect.
Mhm.
Uh, there's uh, there's a deduction in box 5 that doesn't feel good at all. It just works. It's some strange chain, and I'm so proud uh, about the rest of the puzzle, and I'm so pissed at myself that I wasn't that I didn't push myself to make the whole puzzle perfect. But I guess it came out good enough still.
Yeah, I mean, I often have to tell myself if I'm struggling to finish a puzzle, I need to take a break and wait a few days and then come back to it. Otherwise, I'm going to try to push myself to finish it because I'm just so annoyed with how it's not working. Uh,
Yeah,
but I personally as well find that very difficult to actually do, but I need to remind myself constantly to not push myself to finish something because it's not going to work out.
yeah. The issue with myself is if I delay it in several days, I just lose the spark in the eyes,
Hmm.
and I probably don't finish it at all. But I probably should have done it still. Yeah.
So is this the first puzzle to utilize the Puzzle TV website?
No, no. I think the first one is the rotational grid.
Right, okay.
I call it north or south. The first version of it is already unpublished, and probably no one sees it because it's anti-night with dozens of constraints. Um, Actually, it was like the testing of this puzzle probably was my first very helpful piece of advice that I received from other sellers, and I want to share it with others. I mean, probably most of people watching here are already experienced setters, but still.
Not necessarily.
Basically,
So
yeah.
feel
So
free. Yeah.
the puzzle was that I could rotate the grid 800 degrees, and I used like calculator digits. So if I mirror them 180 degrees, they still remain the same. Like
Mhm.
like the regular 8 is not really symmetric and things like that. So with this twist, I have got 2, 5, 1, 8. Uh, Ideally symmetric. So I started to think about different twists, how uh, 6 in a certain clue turns into 9 and
Mhm.
things like that. And I had a killer cage with a 12 clue that turns into 21 when you when you rotate the grid. So I loved this idea so much, and it's generally my way of constructing puzzles with new rules. Before doing anything, I start to just analyze the new rule and thinking, what could it do? What
Mhm.
kinds of deductions could it do? So basically, what I started to do is going over all constraints that I know, like all common constraints that I know, arrows, run bands, axes, whatever, and started to think what impact this rotational grid will do on this constraint. And the mistake I did, whenever I saw a constraint that have a cool interaction with this rotational grid, I took it into the puzzle.
Mm.
My way of thinking was like I was under impression of community, like the CTC community. I saw, yeah, there are million standard constraints. It's just my building blocks for doing a puzzle. I can use whichever whichever number of these constraints together because everyone knows them. So I ended up building a puzzle with like 6 or 7 different constraints together with this crazy rule. And
I think it's just 4, isn't it? Oh, anti-knight as well.
you're probably looking at a second version.
Ah, I see.
Uh,
Is there a first
yeah,
version
so
posted here?
basically the second version of the puzzle is based on this feedback
Right.
that even if if it looks like it's all building blocks and everyone knows it, and usually people don't enjoy having too many different rules in a puzzle, even if they're all standard,
Mm-hmm.
unless it's Nivero's puzzle where you need to disambiguate all different lines. Yeah. Yeah, so it was the first helpful piece of advice. Unfortunately, I still published the puzzle, like with this amount of constraints. I think I even submitted it to Rank's stream. And because the puzzle is anti-knight and it's just like you cannot really do definite solve path in an anti-knight puzzle with many different clues.
Yeah.
So it was completely bypassed, and it wasn't really fun. So basically, I decided to try to create a new version of the puzzle with less constraints, and that's the version that you see right now. I still don't think that it's a super cool puzzle. I dream to do a version without anti-night and even less constraints. Maybe several different puzzles with different constraints. Yeah, because like if you see cool logic, you don't have to use it all in one puzzle. You can do several ones.
Yeah,
That's what I constantly reminding myself since then.
for sure.
Yeah, and after creating this puzzle in a Puzzle TV, and I think I did several more. There was some ridiculous puzzle also for the monthly prompt, where I had a pencil puzzle on a map of Africa, like actually in Google Maps. It wasn't a good puzzle either. Yeah, but uh, after after several version, I started to generalize things to open for other developments, and I started to give a shout out to people. Hey, if you have some crazy idea, I may implement it for you. And since then, many people reached out to me, and I'm very happy about that.
Yeah, so there's lots of questions we have from viewers about Puzzle TV. But the first one is from me. Why, like, I'm pretty savvy with computer stuff, and I know other people are in the Sudoku community. Like, Kodak makes a bunch of solvers for his own variants and such, and other people are programmers and such like that. But no one took it this far. Like, why did you take it to the next level of actually implementing some software to make your ideas possible, I guess?
Because I can. That's simple.
Getting
Like,
what's it, Jeff Goldblum in my head, like you only
what?
thought you
Sorry?
Jeff Goldblum from Jurassic Park. You only thought that you can, but you didn't think if you should. Anyways,
Yeah.
you released this into the
I don't
world.
know, because no one else did it, and I saw that I can do it, so I did. That's all.
Done. Panthera asked a good question about the site as well. How much time have you put into building it?
That's a good question. I think I started building it in spring of 22. I think.
Yeah, that makes
Maybe
sense. That tracks.
And yeah, I put a lot of time into that, especially into optimizing things like jigsaws. Yeah, it has a spot near to my heart.
For sure. Kodak asked, how often do people bother you with requests to make some mechanic that they've invented?
First of all, I wouldn't use the word bother.
Okay.
And the answer is much less that I would love to. Like it's about one request a month or something like that, maybe even less.
I don't know
I
if
would
you want
love
more than that.
to
That's it seems like a
bother
lot.
me. You know, usually because I implemented a lot of different things, and now people ask things that almost implemented. Like
Hmm.
I already have some like framework for moving clues and
Right.
piece of jigsaws, and like I had the jigsaw puzzle framework already, and someone asked me to do like Tetris pieces that should be put into the grid. Well,
Hmm.
it's almost done.
Nice.
So more and more, when people ask something, it's like less than a day of work. So yeah.
Hmm. Well, hopefully this doesn't spur an overwhelming amount of work for you.
No, no, not at all.
Is there any, I guess this is a codex question as well, is there a mechanic that you tried to implement into the software but had to give up on for some reason?
Um, there's a mechanic that I did implement. Well, it's not exactly a mechanic, but I had this collaborative solve mode
Hmm.
on the site when you basically like share a link to a puzzle to somewhere else, and you like edit the grid together.
Hmm.
And it was I basically prepared myself to do Perdoku puzzles,
Right.
and also there's a game where you also you you like could play over the network. It's not collaborative solve. It's like you do turns to
Hmm.
place quadrants, like quadruple clues into the grid, and it tells you if it's right or wrong. It's maths idea, and I had this for a while, but after one upgrade, it turned out to be super buggy to the point that I wasn't able to fix that. So I just removed that. So I guess it was the biggest and the only failure software wise. I don't remember someone asked me mechanic that I cannot implement. I don't think so.
That's actually quite surprising. I would assume that there would be requests that were just unimaginably complicated to implement, or do people just not shoot for the moon when they contact you?
Oh yeah, actually, yeah, there was one. Um, I have this like toroidal grid mechanic,
Hmm.
but someone asked me to do like 3D view of a toroidal grid, like on an actual
Right.
torus,
That's
and the grid was rotated diagonally, so it like did it like that. For the
yeah,
torus, I don't remember what. So it was like something almost Möbius strip,
yeah,
and I guess if I try very hard, I would be able to implement that. But I looked at the idea, and I just straight up said it doesn't worth it. So well, when I get a request, I can say no if I don't think it worth the time, and if I think that it will it will take ages to implement, but it will not be fun to solve at all.
right.
If the settler doesn't convince me that it worth the time, I just say no.
Well, yeah, I mean, it has to
But it doesn't affect me a lot,
improve the
to be fair.
solving, right? Like if it's basically the same solving experience, whether you have the technology or not, why bother doing it at all, right?
Yeah, yeah. Sometimes people ask me to do things that will look nice with animation or don't know what, like, but solving them in SudokuPod or Pampa will be perfectly fine. Sometimes I tell people just do it in SudokuPad. It's a much greater software. It has more support. It has less bugs, more features. Do it there. Don't throw the person into something unfamiliar just to show some nice animation.
Right. Malrug had asked, do you have any particular plans for the future of Puzzle TV?
Well, I guess no particular plans. I just take the request as people ask me to. I still hope to restore the collaborative mode. Not for Paradox, because it proved to be perfectly fun without any software.
Right.
Actually, now I think that software support will make Paradox solving less fun than it is now. What else? Yeah, my biggest goal for the platform right now is to simplify the code and cover it with documentation,
Mm-hmm.
because right now it's open source project. Like anyone could see the code, anyone could open a pull request to modify it, implement a feature themselves. But it's not really possible because the project is poorly documented and quite complex. And I know that there are many software developers in the puzzling community.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a surprise at all. And several people already asked me, like, is it open for contributions and things like that. So maybe people will start doing things for themselves as well. It will be awesome.
So, if someone, just to give complete guidance to those who are interested, if someone was wanting to contribute, where would they navigate to on this page?
Um, contribute like code-wise.
Yeah, yeah. Is there a GitHub page? I know it's hosted on GitHub.io, but is there a
Yeah, I actually don't think that there's a link to the GitHub page on the site itself.
right?
But basically, the answer is ping me in Discord to make better documentation, because without it, the code doesn't worth anything.
Right.
Just give me heads up that you're willing to contribute, and I will prioritize things. That would be the first step.
Well, I found the GitHub page, so it's literally just slash puzzle TV. So
Yeah.
once Chameleon has put in that work, then this is where you go and you can figure out how to do that. What language is it written in? I guess TypeScript it says here.
Yeah, it's JavaScript with TypeScript support based on React framework, and it's right now it's completely in the browser. There are no servers.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's why I cannot
Yeah.
really. I have no database whatsoever. I don't store the puzzles that were imported from other tools. I don't collect any analytics because I don't don't even I don't want to enter this privacy topic at all. Just keep it out.
Right. Doomdiat asked, what are some of the mechanics slash tools that you've built into Puzzle TV that you would like to see more puzzles with?
Ooh, actually, there's one mechanic that was not appreciated at all. Let me recollect who was the setter. I think it's Simons, if I pronounce the name correctly, and the puzzle called Find the Three. I think it should be on the puzzles page on the site if you want to share it.
Yeah, I can find it.
So basically, the idea is how to describe it. You have to deduce where the three goes in the puzzle, like all threes. Of
Mhm.
course, it's inspired by this CTC meme.
Yeah.
And you, when you locate the placement of 1-3 digit, you have a wish. So basically, what it gives you, you can select any cell in the grid and ask what is the digit in this cell. And you need to do it the way that grants you to logically deduce the next three.
Hmm.
It's completely new type of logic. It was super fun to solve, and the setter managed to do many types of different deductions. I highly recommend the puzzle, but yeah, I understand why people didn't like it as well, because like as a solver, you you're a bit afraid that you will not be granted the next three or whatever. Like,
Hmm.
and as a setter, you also need to, uh, as long as far as I know, it was a nightmare to set, and
Yeah.
Simon needed to use computer assistance a lot. Sorry, just to check that like which cells could be selected to grant the next three, and to check that there's no super bifurcation-y way to grant a three or whatever. Like it's very hard to set this kind
Mhm.
of puzzle. So maybe it will make sense on a 6x6. Maybe it could be, probably would be nice on 6x6, I guess. But it's such a cool logic. It's very promising. Uh, what else? Another genres. Let me think. Infinity Loop. It's quite nice. It's usually based on sets. Actually, rotational puzzles. I already, I think, support them in import mode, and it could do some very nice logic, like um, any kind of rotational puzzles. The one with the rotational grid, the one with the clues that rotate,
Mhm.
and the interactions of the, like this 6-9 ambiguity. It could be quite fun. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see here. I Love Sleeping asked, "Am I hearing about a cube Doku infinite loop hybrid?" God,
Mm-hmm. Again?
am I hearing a cube Doku infinite loop hybrid?
I don't really understand that question.
I think he's asking, is something that you would work on a cube Doku with infinite loop hybrid, which seems
Uh,
ridiculous. I don't even know how that
it doesn't
works.
make any sense.
No.
It sounds very broken.
Yes. So I don't know if you're hearing that, I love sleeping, but if you are, then you should set that. I don't know how you would set that, but you should set that. Go for it. Have fun.
Yeah, sure. If you imagine how it works, yeah, sure.
Did you expect Fog of War to be so popular?
I probably didn't. Like in general, I didn't expect something with a brand new software to be this popular. I guess. I guess that Sven picking up almost instantly the support in Sudoku Pad did the very big role in popularizing the genre, and of course the CTC feature. Yeah.
I think we could call what happened there bothering. Uh,
Yeah,
I
but
I
I'm
know.
very glad that it
Yeah.
did it. It's awesome that people do amazing things with Fog of War right now. Like, look at I think it was Clover's puzzle about a month or two ago. A puzzle with killer cages in a Fog of War that you need to solve using uniqueness.
Hmm.
Chef's kiss.
For a while there, I think every week or so there was a ping in setting tools or whatever channel saying, "How do you implement Fog of War again?" And I think Sven was starting to get tired of the constant pings. So yeah.
Need to pin the answer, I guess.
Yes. I think
Actually,
they did.
there is an aspect of the Fog of War setting that I like less being popularized.
Mhm.
I guess it's more of my personal preference because, like, how I imagined the Fog of War initially, it's it's about where the clue continues to grow, like
Right.
that's the essence of the genre. But people when see Fog of War, like some of them, not all, of course.
Mhm.
Uh, hey, that's how I set a linear solution path. That's that's the tool for that.
Yeah.
And I don't quite like this usage of Fog of War just to force the solution path to bring attention to the first or second step in the puzzle. It's I don't know. It's like shooting from bazooka at the fly for me. But I don't
Mhm.
know. I guess I don't care about it too much.
I I wasn't gonna mention this, but I have seen a couple puzzles with one or two cells that are covered with fog, and I also think that is absurdly stupid.
I actually solved recently one, I think, by Juggler and one by. Ooh, I forgot. Maybe I'm nasty. Sorry, I don't remember. But it was like that. Like
Oh, okay.
Juggler's puzzle, it was like this Superman shape and two Fog of War cells inside of it, and it was a very nice puzzle actually.
I guess it depends on how they're used. I've seen them used to like resolve a deadly pattern by putting a clue in that you don't see until the very end, which is not very nice for
Okay.
me.
Oops. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's not the way.
no, no. Anyways, Halfly asked, what do you think will be the next thing that Puzzle TV has that will be implemented in Sudoku Pad?
Ooh, that's an interesting question. Maybe the mechanics like in Wrong Planner's hidden setup, when you discover the clues gradually in steps. Like you have several target cells that you need to put correct digits, and then you get the new wave of clues. It's a very similar. It's quite similar in to the Fog of War in a way, and I basically say that it would be the next thing because I've heard some rumors about Sven wanting to implement it one day. So yeah,
It sounds like,
probably not Rush Hour. Yeah, and
yeah,
not Sakuban. No,
yeah. Sounds like idea I had
actually,
forever ago. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
to the previous question of yours,
yeah,
like which mechanics I want to see more.
yeah.
Sakuban and Rush Hour for sure.
Hmm.
And it's especially Rush Hour. It has great potential, not only when the car carries a given digit, it could also carry a part of the clue that like should be
Yeah, yeah.
aligned together. Like imagine it carrying
Has
the part
anyone
of Runman, and
has
you need
anyone done
to
that
drag
yet?
the car that it creates a full line. It could be awesome. Like Rush Hour or Jigsaw puzzles for the same purpose. It could be very fun. It's not supported right now, but I think it has very huge potential.
Has anyone done that? No, no one's done that yet. Like any sort of clues on top of the rush hour?
Um,
I feel like it's such an obvious
well, I
next
don't.
step.
The answer is yes because it's not supported.
Right. Logan had asked in the chat, uh, I don't mean to be rude asking this, but aren't most fog of war puzzles just using the fog to force one specific solve path in the way that you described?
I don't know. I didn't solve so many of them.
There are so many of them, so that's fair.
Just don't know.
What do you think about
For the
the
one that I solved, I
yeah?
think it's 50-50, I guess.
What do you think about the degeneracy of the naming conventions that have plagued fog of war puzzles?
I see what you're talking about. Like, you mean cages in the fog, round buns in the fog, whatever in the fog? Yeah.
Yes, yes, or like foggy and then some noun, like it's like half of the LMD page now.
Well,
It's just that.
it's
So
not related to the fog of war. There are many others without the fog of war with the same titles, aren't they?
true.
But yeah,
I'm not sure what they're doing, but
I'm sure that I created some of them as well. So
right,
I'm part of the crime. You can
right.
arrest me.
Uh, what do you think? I don't know why I'm asking this, but what do you think about because the original title was Lumos Maxima, right? What do you think
Yeah.
about the titles tending towards the fog rather than the light? I mean, the lights are gone, right? So in the new,
Yeah. Actually, in one of the CTC videos, Simon was wondering, what's that? I think it was in Fog X. Like,
hmm,
what is it? Well, I think I know what it is. Yeah. Um, Actually, to be fair, I was not familiar with the fog of war term before the genre started to popularize. I don't play a lot of computer games. Definitely not the strategies where you have this effect. So
Mhm.
when I first saw it, why do the people call it fog of war? What the hell? and and then people did tell me, and I'm not sure if it's about a fog or about a light. I don't have any hard feelings about any of this title related thing.
Okay. I feel like I'm annoyed by it, so I figured you would be annoyed by it. So, anyways, let's talk about humor in puzzles. What does that mean to you? I know you have some very humorous puzzles.
Many different things actually. It could be just something straight up silly, like oops, moth has eaten my grid. Uh, things like that. By
Right.
the way, awesome puzzle. Check it out. It's by Juggler. Um, and it could be about how to say it, like when someone has some expectation and you ruin this expectation completely. I think the best example about it. I unfortunately don't remember who was the setter. Uh, the puzzle's title is something like Chaotic Evil or something like that. Basically, it's a chaos construction puzzle where spoiler, every region ends up as a Sudoku box, the like regular 3x3,
Hmm.
and it's not the end. It's not the end. Spoiler alert. The last one has one cell out. It was so hilarious to solve and to see. I think I saw it like live solved on the Vitamas stream. If someone in the chat remembers this puzzle and could tell the exact title and the setter, it will be very nice of you. And in any case, it's an awesome puzzle. Yeah, things like that, and sometimes it could be, I don't know, like put in positive words on a positive diagonal. Like there are so many ways.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think of this puzzle by you when they think of humor in puzzles, the Fog X. And if you haven't seen the Fog X puzzle, I won't spoil it. Just solve it yourself. It's quite funny.
Yeah, actually, the main idea was taken from Zituma's stream as well. It was I think it was a Fog of War challenge, and someone just near to the end of the puzzle put just a label, something like "You can do it, Zeta," like, and
That's nice.
you put a digit and see it, and you just blow up from 11.
Yeah. I love the uh the comedic timing that can come with the fog clearing and just something that you don't expect underneath of it. It's great. It's great stuff.
Yeah. Actually, the first feedback about Lumus Maxima that I've got was, you know, like according to the solve path, when you have like uh, one or two fog cells left, it would be very nice to put a one cell cage with a digit that the solver will put there.
Hmm. Yeah.
And I think it's a very nice idea. I'm sure someone already did it.
Yeah.
Like, there's no
Probably.
way.
FGM had asked, how annoyed were you when I won our first game of chess?
Why I know it. I really like playing any games, not only chess with stronger opponents. Yeah, we played 2 games of chess with FGM, and I think it was 1-1, and I really liked these 2 matches. It was fun. So not annoyed at all. If you have spare time, come play some more.
I feel like FGM is the kind of person who would get annoyed, so maybe that's why he asked. No offense to FGM, I love the guy. Uh, Wisteria had asked, do any pure pencil puzzles slash Sudokus capture the feeling of things like a Sudoku ban hybrid for you?
Probably no. It's quite a different region in my heart for pure puzzles and for crazy mechanics puzzle, but I love them both.
Mm-hmm. Coming to somewhat unexpected question about classic Sudoku. Rockrat Zero asks, most classic Sudokus are forgettable, but Stairway to Heaven is one of the memorable ones. Please discuss spoiler free so others will go out and experience the pure joy of solving it. So if you have not solved Stairway to Heaven, go solve it and return to the stream.
I'm not sure if it would be enough time to return to the stream. Yes, it's not so hard. It's just not really well telegraphed, I think, but I think it's still a good puzzle. And actually, it will be hard to discuss it spoiler free. But yeah, it's a classical puzzle. Actually, the first classic Sudoku that I've set, I think, that I did around certain crazy deduction, and it actually was the most fun puzzle to set because setting it was like a puzzle of itself. Usually, with a variant clues or with maybe classical Sudoku that don't spin around a big amount of cells. Oops, I did a spoiler. Sorry. Um, you have quite a lot of freedom to do what you want, and yeah, the internet deduction that I've put there needs a big amount of cells next to each other with certain pencil marks, and the experience of setting it was like a solving a puzzle of where can I put the clues to make it to force these specific pencil marks
hmm.
and not to turn puzzle into like not to have a bypass and make the puzzle fun.
Right.
So it was like I first I need uh, to pick a region in the grid where it's even theoretically possible to force these pencil marks by given digits. And then I started to do like, okay, in order to have these pencil marks, I need to put 4 in this row. I need to put 5 in this column. It was it was really like solving a puzzle. It was very fun, and the way I said it's basically puzzle of one deduction. You do the break-in and the puzzle solves. But when Ashish Kumar from Unshackling Sudokus and Puzzle solved it in a video, he was like, wow, it was so cool to put a W wink here. I cannot imagine the better way to explain that. And I did learn this technique from his video. And then, oh, there's a skyscraper here. Wow, so cool. So many classical Sudoku tricks. I didn't put them there.
Right.
That's for sure.
Funny. Ron Planer asked about intelligence service. So he says intelligence service is probably your most controversial / beloved puzzle. Would you change anything if you would set it again today?
I guess I need to explain what it is first. So intelligence service is a Sokoban fog of war puzzle hybrid, and the idea is you don't know where all the Sokoban clues are. You see initially only 4 squares illuminated initially, and you need to dive with a Sakuban player into the fog. You don't see where the player goes, but you can count how many steps in which directions you've made, and when you gather some information, you use Control Z, like you use undo to revert your steps, and then you pencil mark the information. So yeah, it's a very crazy idea. It's only for people who like this kind of things. Probably not a lot people, but that's my way of doing puzzles. I don't try to please everyone. I think if there are 10 persons in the world who like the puzzle and enjoy it, cool. If you don't, I will put some disclaimer in the rules. Oh, actually, yeah, that's the answer. What I would change about the puzzle, put a disclaimer. Yeah, that's the answer, and probably try to resolve the end of the puzzle. Basically, the digits in the puzzle are unique, but the way to move the second button cages in the end are not unique. It's the same in the first second puzzle, like Sudoku puzzle. It's the same. It's not exactly unique how you put cages in the end. It's very annoying to set. And I think the future of this genre, if there is a future, is just to straight up write it in the rules. Sudoku is unique. Sakoban cages movement isn't. Just deal with that. That's how it works. So I guess if I try really hard, I can do something to resolve the Sakoban movement in the end. And for the puzzle that is already very controversial, as I said, maybe it's a must to. There's enough confusement. Let's maybe remove some in the end.
Right.
But I don't regret publishing the puzzle. I love this puzzle the way it is. I think I don't want to change anything almost. Yeah.
Cool. Now I could ask a question, very general question. What makes a puzzle special?
I guess the general question will get a general answer if you feel that you see something new. I really don't know what to say, what else to say. Just something that you didn't experience before. It could be new rules, it could be new types of deduction, new types of interactions. Like I'm not obsessed with crazy puzzle TV mechanics. I'm doing regular puzzles as well. You know, the latest example of a special puzzle that I solved was by Mixo. The title is in German, so I have no hope to pronounce it correctly. But it's the one with several 3-cell bands and several givens and other clues. Um, if I remember correctly, the goal of the puzzle was to create something where all given clues are involved in the break-in, and it was a gorgeous break-in. Let's. I'm trying to find a way to describe it without spoiling, because yeah, I guess I cannot describe it without spoiling. Sorry, but I'll say it was uh, unusual way to min-max things.
Okay.
Or
That's a good
another
description.
example was a puzzle by FGem, an older one. I'm even not sure it was ever published. I don't remember actually. But it was a puzzle when you use sets, but both for the equality of sums of certain cells, but also for equality of digits, like certain digits go in both location, and it was something refreshing. It was special. Yeah.
Hmm.
I don't have it's just many different examples of special puzzles.
Right. Isaiah has an interesting question. Why did you set and publish an anti-knight doubler puzzle?
Hmm. Actually, the answer to this question could be found in the description of this puzzle on LMD. But let's spot the light on it. It was a puzzle that I set in Dumediat's speed setting competition, and the format was setters are like you have a pair of setters. One setter chooses one constraint, another chooses one constraint, and you have like a duel. So you discover the second constraint to set with only in the start of the round, like right before you start setting. We had 90 minutes to set a puzzle, and basically I chose doublers as my constraint, and Math Geek chose Anti-Knight. And we submitted these constraints to Dumediat, and they were reviewed by judges, and we were warned by them that the pair of constraints that we chose is going to be quite painful to set. But both me and Math Geek were stubborn enough to persevere with our decision.
Mm-hmm.
Like basically, like yeah, it will be hard for me to set, will be hard for my opponent to set. We are still in fair conditions. And so we took the challenge. We both didn't finish the puzzle in time. So judges decide which puzzle wins based on the breaking or which of them less broken or whatever. I don't actually remember, but something like that. They had to choose one setter because it was like Olympic system. Like each round, one in a pair uh, moves to the next round. So yeah, that's basically the reason. Being stubborn, and I'm quite proud of the puzzle, like the one that I finished after the round. I think it's pretty clever.
Cool. Well, good to get that sorted out, even though it's already stated.
Yeah, yeah, and I will never do it again. Yes,
Of course.
even after implementing Sudoku Maker support, still no. It's so cursed. Like basically after a break-in, I had it had like 8 solutions after placing a couple of digits. Yeah.
Gross. I love sleeping asked what kind of logic do you like/dislike to use as a setter, and what do you like or dislike to see as a solver?
I guess for the setter, for the solving, it would be nearly the same. Or maybe not. Basically, I like seeing some interactions of different constraints. Not necessarily like some fairly global break-in, but also that. But I prefer that there are some connection between the clues that interact in a certain way. So that's what I like. But also, as a solver, I also like some easy puzzles when the clues are playful. I don't know how to explain that exactly, but there are puzzles when deduction jump from one corner to another corner and then to to that, like just funny flow. That's also cool. I like coloring a lot. Yeah, more like the this digit goes there coloring rather than these are small and these are high kind of coloring. Yeah.
Right. Where do your ideas come from? What is your main source of inspiration?
I guess same as for other sellers. I solve other puzzles and I get inspired by them, and I try to think about new ways of using the deduction of, or maybe something that I randomly saw in a puzzle that wasn't intended. And now I do want to use it. Things like that. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Do you enjoy solving more or setting more?
I'm not sure actually. That's a good question. Probably the same. Yeah, probably the same. Well, kind of setting is also solving,
Mm-hmm.
I guess. It's both the same.
Would you set puzzles even if no one would solve them? If you were the last person on Earth, would you still be setting puzzles?
Probably. Like when I was in a school, I used to set random math or like physical problems for myself and solve them, and no one knew about it, and I still enjoyed. So I guess yes.
Hmm.
But of course, I appreciate people solving the puzzle and having fun. Like that. That's the main reason I set puzzles, because I want someone to have fun.
Right. All right, we're 25 minutes from the end, so let's do the rapid fire questions before we forget about them. So one answer or the other as quickly as you can, rapid fire style.
I need to do some stretches, right?
Okay.
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready.
Already? Okay, good. High lowity or odd evenity?
Divinity.
Local or global deductions?
Local.
Coloring or good living?
Coloring.
Simple or complex?
Complex.
Favorite digit to dance to?
No one. There's no such thing.
Geometry, geometry or arithmetic?
Geometry.
Penpa, F puzzles, Sudoku Maker, or something else?
Sudoku Maker.
Sudoku or pencil puzzles?
Sudoku, I guess. Sudoku. Yeah.
Chaos or order?
Didn't. Never understood the meaning of this question.
Object-oriented.
It's out of context.
Yeah, it's not a contest. Okay. Object-oriented scripting or machine programming languages?
What?
Figured I'd throw
Again?
that in. Object-oriented scripting or machine languages?
Object-oriented. Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't expect this one. Yeah.
Yeah, I threw it in there. I thought you might like that. Big or little?
Out of context. Like there is no answer for such a question. It's out of context.
That's
There's
funny.
no answer.
Lots of people give an answer. Digital or analog?
Ooh, good one. Analog. There's some magic to it.
Arrows or dots?
Arrows.
Cages or lines?
Cages.
Fog of War, Paradoku, or Rush Hour?
What? That's not fair, making me choose between my favorite children. No one of them is a mild child, but anyway. Paradoku.
Interesting. Indexers or chess constraints?
Chess constraints, as long as you don't call them like that.
Okay. To disambiguate a given or an extra rule?
Given.
Outside or inside clues?
Inside.
Cheese or bread?
Don't split them, they go together.
Okay. Good or evil?
Good.
Lawful or chaotic?
Chaotic.
Okay. That's all the rapid fire questions. Unless you have another one you want to answer.
I don't know.
Okay. Choose between more of your children. How long does it normally take you to set a puzzle? I'm gonna say set a puzzle with a normal rule set and set a puzzle with a rule set that's like you have to program something to make it work. Like, what's the difference?
Interesting. For a normal puzzle, about 2 days, something like that. Yeah, depends on how cursed the rule set is.
Like constant setting or like
Like
small small chunks?
if I try to explore some new rules, then it takes more, of course. But yeah. And if it's a puzzle that I need to implement in Puzzle TV, then a lot more.
Do you typically set in small chunks over a longer period of time, or in long contiguous chunks of time, like 4 hours or something?
Yeah, I usually try to attack the puzzle and finish it while I have this energy for that. If I try to split the puzzle for too many chunks, I just don't finish it. Unfortunately, I burn out too quickly.
Right, right. And I've just realized, because I was going to ask you about the caterpillar next, I completely missed the fact that I was going to advertise the caterpillar streams in this ad. So if you like watching setting and you like Chameleon, Chameleon is highly involved in this caterpillar stream. So come check out the caterpillar streams. They are happening August 11th, August 20th, August 25th, and August 29th. Because we have so many people to get through.
Oh yeah.
All right. What has been the worst part of volunteering for the caterpillar experience?
I guess the answer is obvious. I messed up 2 grids.
At least you were under time pressure. I mess up grids when I have lots of time.
Yeah. So
Was it Chameleon took on
yeah, actually,
a
it
lot?
was quite fun. It was
Yeah.
very hard to do something for 7 hours. I assume that it was even harder for you to talk about the puzzle for 7 hours.
Well, as you
But
could see on stream, there were definitely some points where I just stopped talking. So yeah.
But it was also super fun, and yeah, I enjoyed all of it, both volunteering, both and also setting. It was super fun.
What made you want to volunteer and take on such a big role in supporting this project?
I guess the same answer as with the Puzzle TV. I can do it. Let's do it.
Cool. So for those who don't know, Chameleon and Puzzle TV are backing the whole back end of this project, with even the setter names on stream are hosted on Puzzle TV, and the big grid is imported and edited with Puzzle TV, and eventually, hopefully, we can have a solving experience through Puzzle TV. And Chameleon is working on that, so it should be very interesting. We're asking for crazy things, and Chameleon is delivering. So
Welcome.
very appreciative to Chameleon. Glad to have you on stream and to talk for a while.
Sounds like a good opportunity to also say thank you to Sven for implementing Sudoku Pad that hosts all puzzles there, and also implementing the API that generates images of the puzzles that the whole big grid thingy relies on. Thank you.
I've asked this to a few other people, and I'm wondering what your answer to it is. We've seen innovations like Fog of War in recent years. What do you see in the future of puzzles? Like how will they evolve in the future? Will they become more game like, or is this just a fad?
I I think that it will be like two branches, like the classical and variant Sudoku without any technology involved will still strive, and technologies will take their place as well. I think it would be quite parallel to each other, and but I do hope that we'll have more game-like experiences in Sudoku.
And what do you think about the controversies around LMD community and saying like, oh well, we can't print these fog of war puzzles out, so should they really be allowed on the site?
Well, it's their site and their rules. I cannot do anything with that. Of course, I'm not happy with this philosophy of making the puzzles always available to pencil, like to solve on paper. Um, but I also could relate to people that do solve on paper. But anyway, like as I said, I'm not trying. Never try to please everyone with my
Mm-hmm.
puzzles. I think some puzzles are niche, and it's good there that they are. And if someone doesn't want to solve them, don't solve them.
There you go.
And you never know it would be when it would be success or not. Like I never expected the puzzle with irregular numbers to be popular. I expected that like maybe 2 or 3 persons on LMD will solve it, and that's all, and it will never become rated, and people will forget about it. But it got rated in the first day,
Mm-hmm.
and got a CTC feature, and it was a big surprise. Like it's such a niche puzzle. And then the second one puzzle with crushing eggs still not rated. I guess I don't understand people.
Yeah, ratings on LMD are a cruel mistress, for sure.
I don't really care about the ratings. I
Yeah,
care about
getting them rated themselves
people
even.
getting to solve the puzzle.
Yeah.
Yeah, if puzzle is not rated, people probably will not solve it. If the puzzle is rated as 60%, probably as well.
Is the stream okay, by the way, guys? Like, I keep getting red numbers on one part of OBS, but then every other part of OBS is indicating that nothing bad is happening. So I'm confused. Anyways, Akash G asked, what's your favorite shading puzzle genre?
Ooh. The favorite shading genre to solve is still nonograms. The favorite genre to set, I don't know actually. I don't set pencil puzzles a lot. Yeah, I even don't know.
Gotcha.
Maybe GSS.
Right. Wisteria asked, what are some of your favorite puzzles? We kind of covered a little bit of that when we asked about the special puzzles, but what are your thoughts?
Yeah. Well, I like many puzzles a lot, but I don't really have some favorites. But I do have a top one. It's I'm 100% sure about it that Syzygy from Jovial is the most favorite puzzle of all times. It's a arrow puzzle with such a neat interaction between the digits in the clues. It's just superb. Some other examples: Philomeno 77 by Mixo. The Sakuban puzzle, the original one. Yeah, I just don't feel comfortable saying particular puzzles because there are so many of them that I like the same.
Mm-hmm. Sorry about any technical difficulties in terms of quality of stream, guys. I think that is my bad for messing with some of the settings without double checking how the stream looked. So I am sorry about that. But we will continue. We will strive through it. Playmaker had asked, is there any chance that I will be able to see you shapeshift a Sudoku grid into higher dimensions shapes?
That sounds interesting, and I have no idea what it means, but it sounds very interesting.
I think he's combining
if someone
the
explains
chameleon
what it is,
idea as well.
Implement that.
I think the shape-shifting is kind of like combining chameleon idea with the programming thing. I'm not sure if it's an actual question or a meme question, to be honest.
I understood it like Cubedoku, but like four-dimensional Cubedoku. I don't know.
Integrate scent, you know, because for some reason, whenever you see the words 4D, it's usually talking about, at least in popular culture, scent for some unknown reason. I don't know why people think that that's the fourth dimension, but I know Hollywood thinks that, which is just bizarre to me.
No, that's not a dimension. That's sense.
Not the same thing, guys. Mr. Mango asked, is there any idea for a puzzle you've had which you'd like to set but haven't quite managed how to do it yet?
Yeah, I have many ideas that I put on the shelf because I like it sounds like something fun, but I don't know how to do it exactly. For instance, I was thinking about creating a maze on a Sudoku puzzle, and like you have a person like that goes in this maze, maybe with some lighter or anything, but basically like it's like 3D game where you walk on a Sudoku grid or maybe another genre underneath that, and like you see part of the grid. I don't know, it kind of sounds like fun, and it also doesn't.
It sounds like fun, but I'm not sure exactly how it works. So
yeah. Also, I still want to create a good puzzle on a Google Map because the one I did is garbage.
I think we had. Oh yes, Westfall had asked another question, which is kind of cheating because he already asked 2 questions, but we'll allow it. It's a silly question. You exist. Please discuss, spoiler-free, why anyone would set Sudoku if Kuchaku exists.
That's a hard one.
Yeah.
I actually didn't. I didn't solve Kochoku in my life, and I barely know the rules. I know that it's something about perpendicular lines and connecting the net. No idea.
Don't. Just don't. That's my one advice. Just don't. It's not
Maybe I
good.
should try.
No, don't.
I will try after the stream.
Okay. I warned you. It's
Well, it's not. It's not Uban at least.
true. It's basically the lines can only cross if they're perpendicular, but you don't know if they're perpendicular unless you count all the squares.
Else, I guess.
Yeah, and then like sometimes the grids are like 50 by 50 and it's just a counting exercise and it's really boring. It's horrible. It's horrible.
Yeah, it doesn't exactly sounds like fun.
No.
Actually, it's one more answer for the previous question. I think I was thinking about creating some geometrical puzzles, and I do really mean geometrical, like having some killer cages, but not in a regular shape, like in the shape of triangle uh, or a ellipse or whatever, and you like actually need to calculate how exactly which part of the cell it takes, and it takes like this amount of digit in the cell for the sum. I think people already did some puzzles where where a cage takes half or
Yeah, yeah.
quarter of a cell. I saw some from Marty Sears, maybe.
Yeah, I
Or
think
Pedro-
so.
Pedro-
Some
like sounds
yeah.
like a type of puzzle that they will set.
Mhm.
But I was thinking about going nuts with this idea, as I did with the irregular with the Minist mini puzzle.
Someone should do that, but with shaka shaka clues. That would be sick.
I guess I'll Google it after the stream.
Okay. It's
Yeah,
just like
that's
squares.
another idea that I thought of but never implemented. And have no idea how to start.
Okay, what's a question that you want to be asked, and what's your answer to that question?
Ooh. Oh. I don't know. I guess I don't have such a question. Maybe the question of what I need to do to create a puzzle in Puzzle TV. So great that you asked that. You could import some genres that were already implemented from Sudoku Maker or F-Puzzles. And if it's you invented something completely new, just write to me in a Discord, describe your idea. If you already have a puzzle, that's perfect. But even if you don't, I may create some, quick prototype that is enough to play with and try to build the puzzle and see how it works. And yeah, when you do have a puzzle, I will fulfill it to something that looks nice and works nice.
Nice.
And there's an frequently asked questions page for setters on the site. if you go to the homepage, you have a link for setters, and you could see some answers about how to submit a puzzle or how to set it for a puzzle to be.
Sweet. Great question, Meme. Uh, all right, that brings us to the hour, I think. Or, yep, there we go. That's the hour. So that brings us to the end. And thank you so much, Chameleon, for coming on.
Thank you for having me. Do I have next setter to announce?
No, unfortunately, a caterpillar ate the next setter. So we don't have anyone to announce.
That's also super fun.
Yes, yes.
Thank you.
And by that I mean that there are too many caterpillar streams in August for me to justify another setter spotlight, unfortunately. So our setter spotlights will be pushed to September, and hopefully I have enough time to do them all before I get super busy. I think so. But yeah, let's just hope for that. Fingers crossed, everyone. Yeah. Once again, thank you to our Patreon supporters for supporting everything. If you want to support the streams, go down in the description and you can find the links there. And if you want to support without spending any money, then just like and subscribe. That's all I can ask. And set up a puzzle for the Doku pillar if you haven't already. Don't be scared. There are so many puzzles already that even if yours is then it'll be fine. all right. I didn't mean that.
I
Your
could
puzzles.
confirm that it was a very fun experience to set on stream, but you could also set off stream if you like to, if you feel more comfortable to. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, that is everything. Thank you again, Chameleon. Thank you to the audience for tuning in, and thank you for everything. All right. Bye. Bye. Have a good weekend.